Hey, what is going on, you guys? Welcome to the video. Want to show you guys a quick little tutorial on how to break into somebody's turtle. Turtles are probably the most annoying thing to deal with in Fortnite right now, but it's a really great strategy for players to use. Basically, if you get targeted, if you get tagged a few times, you're almost better off just boxing up, letting the players spray at you one by one for a while. They might get third-partied, they might get frustrated, and then give you an opportunity to just get that shotgun bop off. But I'm showing you guys a way to counter the infamous turtle in this game right now. There's a few different strategies in this video. Kind of got them split between aggressive strategies and still aggressive, but not as high risk of strategies. So basically, I'll walk you through a variety of different ways to deal with turtles. Some of them might get you exposure to getting trapped, so make sure if you use some of the riskier strategies, you probably want to do that early game and against a player that might not look necessarily as good, who can't respond as quickly and get a trap kill on you. But if you're chasing that content and chasing a high kill game, sometimes it's better to use some of the aggressive strategies that actually get you into the player's box. But let's just get right into it. So the first strategy is using a pyramid. You've probably seen a lot of people use this strategy before. But basically, you lay a pyramid next to their one-by-one. Notice how I'm partly phased through. That's exactly what you want. If you're outside the pyramid, like this, and you're kind of sitting on top of it, it's not going to work. So if that happens to you, just re-edit the pyramid so that you're still phased through the pyramid. So this is perfect right here. Then all you got to do is use a spray weapon. Either Scar might work, but because it doesn't have as high of a fire rate, it's a little less consistent. And SMG is optimal, and all you got to do is spray the SMG and walk through. And basically what will happen is as the wall dies, this pyramid will push you through into their one-by-one. So then you're going to go for a rapid switch onto a shotgun, and you're going to get that headshot bop.
Just a banana. Ow! My face!
Now, the one disadvantage of that first trick is the opponent can kind of see you coming. I mean, if you're at the very front of their one-by-one, they might switch to a shotgun and get a straight headshot on you, so it is something you got to watch out for. A different strategy you can use that kind of gives a more indirect route, the opponent probably won't see this one coming, is an actual direct route over top that, again, uses the opponent's pyramid to allow you to phase through. So what you do is you run up on top, you build two walls on the opposite corner, go into the corner, pickaxe the pyramid, and then you'll drop straight through. The opponent will be replacing the roof above you, but because players often switch when they're kind of turtling back and forth between, you know, like floor, pyramid, they're kind of spamming both back and forth. That usually allows you to get through and into their one-by-one through.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. But you do that and then they don't realize you out here.
Now, if you do see a player trying to do this, if you can kind of figure out that that's the move they're going for, if you just hold floors, it will actually keep the player from getting through. Even though I'm pickaxing his floor every single time, the floor will scoop me back up and put me back on top. The only reason this really works is because players kind of swap back and forth between floor and pyramid. So in this clip here, I just told my buddy who was helping me out making this video, and Lolly, to spam back and forth between floor and pyramid like you normally would. And you can see, like, it kind of keeps me out for a little bit, but because he's spamming back and forth between pyramid, which the average player is going to be doing, it lets you in to the one-by-one. Hey, buddy. So the two previous examples are basically the hyper-aggressive ways to get into somebody's one-by-one. The problem with those techniques, while they can kind of catch the player by surprise, they do put you literally in their one-by-one. So you're obviously exposed to a little bit more of a close-quarter shotgun battle that some players might not be comfortable with. You also have to deal with the fact that he can throw traps on all the walls adjacent. So if he has any traps in his inventory and he's got a decent response time, even if you get the kill, you might actually die from just his traps going off. So it is something to consider. So we have a couple more options you guys can use here that are a little less aggressive. You're probably not going to crack into the one-by-one as quickly with these techniques, but they do work very well. So the first one is probably the most passive play, and I call it the multi-angle technique. So basically, if somebody's in a one-by-one, you can run up on the corner, and I like to smack the front wall, the side wall, and then the pyramid. So basically what this does is it gives you 3 one-hits on the one-by-one. And then you kind of just pick, where do I want to go? This wall, I can replace that. And then get it edited in. Or you could replace the pyramid and steal the pyramid, and then you do the exact same strategy with the floor and the next wall. Right? And then it's a guessing game for the player inside. So again, it comes down to a little bit of speed, but this is a good strategy to kind of put the player on their heels. Like I said, you're not cracking in quite as fast as the other strategies, but you're also not dropping into a potential trap kill. So the last strategy is, again, one of those more passive strategies that will prevent you from landing on a trap. However, it is a little bit reliant on your loot. You need to find an RPG for this trick to work. But if you do find an RPG, it makes for super easy cracking into opponents 1x1s. Previously, you used to be able to shoot the RPG at the opposing corner of a 1x1 just standing up, and the pyramid used to block it. You can still do that, but it's a little bit more difficult. They basically patched it so that you can't just stand up here. You will take explosive damage if you're standing in this position. However, there is a strategy you can use where you can still use that cone trick without taking any fall damage, and also simultaneously destroying the whole 1x1 underneath you and getting in. So all you got to do, look at the exact opposite corner of the 1x1, and then as fast as you can, what you do, you hit it in tandem. You shoot the RPG and you crouch. So you need to shoot the RPG and be crouched before the RPG actually explodes. Otherwise, you're going to take some damage. So it should look something like this. The other strategy you can use, which is a little less spooky, and it's something you're probably a little less likely to goof up during just a typical, build fight. Maybe you're getting pressure from somebody else. You want to be able to do this quick and without having to worry so much about it. So you can do, again, the two walls on the opposite side and just aim the RPG at the exact opposite corner. Make sure you don't aim, like, too low. Because if you aim too low, you're technically going to be within a 1x1's radius. But at the farthest diagonal, you're going to be outside of that explosive radius. So you should be able to kill the entire pyramid and fall in. However, with this strategy, you may or may not kill these back two walls. So if the opponent does have traps on these, you might be screwed. Hope the video helps. If it did, smash that like button and use code Upshall in the Fortnite item shop.